Hi and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as Floorkids at 147. I'm excited. You may be able to tell I'm excited because I'm pretty sure this video is going to get split, getting filmed over a couple of days. But I have caught up with last week's videos. So I'm going to start on kitting up my PaintGem mini sets. So don't worry, you guys will all see this in one video, but it can take a while to kit up 3 PaintGem mini sets. So I thought, while I've got an hour until I need to get the post ready, let's make a start. So I've got my decision wheel up to date. I haven't included the 2 that you would have seen unboxed on Friday. They haven't been added to my logbook yet because they were unboxed after it. But I have actually just had to add 4 sets to this since I last kitted up. So I added tiles, windows, mystery 3 and Easter. So I thought, let's leave it at sort of all of those ones without adding Tuscany and Floral 2 as well. And yeah, let's just keep it in that sort of system. So I have all of my uncompleted PaintGem mini sets in my decision wheel. I do also have a free slot, and that means I get to pick what set it is that I kit up. So I'm going to kit up 3. We're going to start with 1. And I'll kit that all up and then I'll move on to the next one. I find it keeps my excitement levels up and keeps me going. So let's see which one is first for today. What are we kitting up? Rainbow. Very nice. Very nice bright set. So let me just grab that. Rainbow, there it is. I have actually put them in alphabetical order in my cart, but that doesn't mean I realise how many are in between each one. So I'm just going to find my diamonds for Rainbow, which I expect to be a little bit further down. There they are. So we have diamonds for Rainbow and my Rainbow set, which this one has 16 different designs in this set. But what I really want out of here is my stickers. That's what I want first off. I am going to prep all of my canvases for working on. So what I like to do is I like to trim the edges off. But most of that I will do off camera. I will do one where I show you sort of what I do, but it's a bit of a little bit less exciting task, that one. So we'll pop those in there and pop that to the side, and I'm going to grab my first tray. In fact, I do actually need that front cover because I use that front cover in here. And what, okay, oh, do I want, actually, I think I might want ABs for this one. So let's keep this out. I like to look through the actual canvases themselves when I'm picking the ABs. It helps me to sort of see where they are and highlight them. So let's put these diamonds, do I want to do that first? ABs first or diamonds first? It would be easier to put an asterisk on the sticker rather than when it's on the bottle. Okay, let's do ABs first. I might change my mind next time and do it a different way. I will pop this sort of design list into a display book with my covers and backing. But I haven't, of course, because I've only just decided, or the decision wheel's only just decided which one it is. I haven't yet figured out, I didn't yet know which ones I needed. So let's have a look actually. So what have we got DMC number wise? 3708. No. I'm just looking at the yellows first. So I've got one that is just a plain yellow. We've got 165, that's not in here. I'm going by exact numbers to start off with. 444, nope. Okay, what other numbers have we got? So it's definitely all bright in these. 972. No, so none of those oranges are actually an exact match. Now, that doesn't mean it's not going to be done, but those aren't an exact match to those colours. What have we got in relation to pink? 602, so that's in there. 603 is in there. That one's not got a number. Don't think I've got any other bright pinks. Reds, we have got 666 in there. 552, no. I'm just sort of hunting through any bright colours. 704. Oh, 741 we do have actually, just don't have many of them. 963, no. What else is it I'm likely to have? 208, nope. So, 995 and 996. 996, 995. That's another 666. I do have a few of those pots because I find they end up in multiple different paintings. So 890, 3846, no. I want the brighter ones really. I'm thinking it's the bright ones that I'm going to want. 606. No, and 321. No. Okay, so let's have a look. So I don't have a bright green. Well, I do, but it's not in this listing. It's actually 704. So let's have a look where I definitely want some brightness. So I could have some in that red stripe. I could have some in the orange stripe, but only if I put a different colour in. In fact, maybe that's what I look for, is those three stripes of the heart. So that would give me some in the yellow there. No, it wouldn't give me any of that pink. Oh, this is where it makes it hard. This is where I sometimes struggle over which ones to do. So I do know that 307 and 444 are very similar colours. So that one is 307 and that one is 444, and they are extremely similar. So I think I can definitely get away with that one going in there. So pen. I'm not off to a very good start here. It's a good job I have brought caffeine with me. So I like to put a star on my stickers, you see, when I have an AB for it. So 602, I have an AB. Let's have a look. Letter D, that would look nice on that one. That would look nice on that one. So we'll class that one as a yes. 603, which is also in both of those images. So yeah, I can choose between the two of them. 666 is always a good one. Right, 741, I don't have a lot of at all. But 742 is very similar. So I think I might use 742 instead of 741. So that means I've got an orange in there. I've got a yellow in there. So that's fine. And then what I want to try is getting a green. Now the AB coating does give a different sort of look to the diamonds. So while 703 is a little bit brighter when you put the AB, it gives a different sort of coating, but they're very close. So I think we can have 703 instead of 704. And I think we'll work that way. So I've got some pinks, some reds, yellows, oranges. So let's have a look at this first one. I've got red, I've got yellow, orange, yellow. I've got a green, albeit it's not that green, but I could switch it out if I wanted to. I don't have a pale blue. I don't have a purple. That's what I don't have. So I have 208 in purples. In fact, I have quite a few. I actually do have 210, but again, I've not got a lot of it. There are quite a few that I don't have much of. Also 3835, I don't have a lot. In fact, the one I have the most of is 552. I could replace that for this darker purple, possibly. 3837. 208. Oh, 208's closer. So when I look now at the sort of bottoms of each of them, 208 is closer to 3837. So let's put a star there, and that gives me a purple. And I won't use it on all of them, but I do like to use it on some. Okay, the only other thing is there's sort of these tealy colours. But I don't think I have many sort of turquoisey colours in my ABs. Okay, no, I'm going to leave it at that because otherwise it'll be like the butterflies. I will go absolutely crazy trying to find ABs. Okay, so I need this. These can just sit in here until I sort them out later, which means my cardboard can go for recycling. And then to prep my boxes, all I've actually been doing is trimming this down to just keep the rainbow edition section of it. That's all I want to keep, because if I put that, in fact I do need to cut those edges off, but if I put this in the front of my drawer, because it's clear, rather than having to tape it, I can actually see it. And all the bottles do keep it in place. I only ever take one bottle out at a time once I've finished kitting up. So there we go. So that's what I'm going for. So let's pop these in the back. Try and get them to stand up. Might have to take some of these out. Yeah, so that is only one pot less than I put in with butterflies. I had a full row and two balancing on their sides on the back of there. Okay, how should we kit this up? How should we kit this one up? Let's go for putting them in alphabet order. So I like to put in A first. I like to do alphabet followed by numbers, though I know some people prefer to do numbers followed by alphabet. So 5200. Are we all going to fit? We are. So that's one. Right. The dog has taken to barking at buses from the couch when she can hear them going past. Okay, 3078. Oh, we do have a bit of static in this one. I was kind of hoping we wouldn't have any with not having any in 5200, but I guess we do. This isn't too bad actually. I do have my dry sheets close by if I need to get them out. But I am also going to try not to use them where possible. Okay, so A, B. I still haven't found replacement handles for my tubs. But anyway, C, 7, 4, 3. I nearly put that in an empty space. I actually took out 307 and put it in a different place. Okay, so C. I do have the numbers colour face up at the moment. I'm sort of trying to see if I can go a little bit by colour and sort of guessing what the colour is-ish as I put them in the pots. A little bit different than just having the DMC numbers showing. But we'll see how we go. So A, B, C. Then I want D. Where is D? They quite often do still have like every single number, every single letter of the alphabet in these. So it's often easy enough to sort of, you know, you'd know that you need to keep hunting until you find the letter, because you know it will be in there somewhere. I have noticed though, and this is the only one that shouts out to me, that number 307 is again the letter T. I know there was a couple of numbers when I de-kitted that I said to you guys, keep an ear out, keep an eye out when I'm kitting up for it being a certain symbol. It seems to be like a pattern that the manufacturer of their kits follows. And they've done it again with 307 by making it the letter T. Okay, D. E is 741, which is another orange. It's actually the one that I have put an AB in for. I've substituted. Now, there's nothing stopping me still grabbing another AB if I find that one of those images particularly needs it. But I do try and stick with the ones that are there and that are ready, you know, ready to go, just because it's easier than trying to dig out an AB every single time. So I want one of these now, 959. Ah, that one's beautiful. Making my life easier. So 959. EFG 3812, so that should be the one after, and it is. Okay, so we've got a nice bright one in these PaintGem sets now. We've definitely got a set that I have added ABs to, because of course I've added ABs to this one already. So I wonder what my next one will be and whether it'll be one that I do or don't add ABs to. EFGH. Anybody else have to do the alphabet? Okay, I should really stick these stickers on before I do it. So I want 210. Pretty purples. I do love the colours in this set. I am kind of hoping that the app sort of picks a mixture of rainbow and muted, though I am a very big fan of rainbow. Okay, I'm actually going to take a few of these out so that I can try and sit them in nicer. I also keep trying to think if there's anything else around my house that I can use as a handle to stick on the front of this, because I'm annoying myself. Right, okay, FGHI. There it is, 3837. which is this one. Another purple. Oh, definitely have static in this bag. Let's see how we go. Do I need to break out the dryer sheets? Sometimes they're deceiving as to how much static there actually is. I'm trying to make this process as quick and as painless as possible because I have another 2 kits to go. Okay, J is 3341, which is actually this one. I did actually think it was the one tucked under the green, but it's not. It's one that's fell out of order when I've been doing them. So J, K, that's what that one is, 608. That's this one, yes. Bright sort of corally, pinky colour. It's actually really pops when it's next to other colours, even more so. It's probably the closest to neon without being neon. This one. J, K, L. L is our 666, our bright red, and I always have an AB for this one. I actually have a few packs of ABs for this one. So L, then I want M, which is 304. Which is the next one down. This is why I think sometimes when the numbers are out of order is because they do have some defaults for some of the colours. Like 307. So it's actually quite early on in the list, but it's defaulted to the letter T. LMN is 747. The only other one I can remember is a lightning bolt for 400, and I don't have 400 in this kit. So the lightning bolt is actually something else. But hey, it's all guessing games. It keeps things, keeps us guessing while kitting up, gives us games to play while kitting diamond paintings up, things to think about. How other companies may work in the background. LMNO is 603. Where is 603? There it is. It's actually quite a bit brighter than the sticker portrays. I have found that as well when I was de-kitting. I don't know if anybody else spotted it, but because I was de-kitting 3 kits, there was of course some kits that had the same number, same DMC number more than once, which is where I've got sort of a few of the similar symbols things from. LMNOP. Yeah, and what I did actually notice, and it may just be the printers, because printers can vary. From printing one time to printing another, it can vary very slightly in shade, is that some of the symbols were darker for exactly the same colour on some stickers compared to others. I suppose it's a bit like with drill colouring, you can ever so slightly get ones that are slightly different. So yeah, that was another interesting thing I observed while doing my mammoth de-kitting, is that the background colour of some of the symbols was ever so slightly different in shade between the two. My door's due to go any minute as well. I'm due to have a parcel collected. LMNOPQ. And then R, 600, just a few of those. It's probably a good job this wasn't one that I put an AB in for, because there's not many of them, which means it's probably only on one of the images. R, S, jumping over to 437, which will be in one of these. Another one that's only a few. So that's probably also only in potentially one painting, or a very little bit in two of them. Then we get to our 307, which I am constantly replacing with AB of 444. And I may still have to dip into some of these ABs as well if I find that another set that I'm going to kit up needs ABs. I may either split some between pots, or I may decide that it's better in a different one to this one. We shall see what I kit up, because there are some kits that I just don't use ABs at all. T, U, which is 436, which will be one of these. Again, just a highlight, and I've not taken the top off. I may get in my rhythm at some point today. I may not. Okay, U, S-T, U, V, 434. So that one's down as quite a really dark symbol when the thing's not quite as dark, so just maybe a little bit more vibrant with the toner in this set. V, W, 796. That's definitely one of these brighter blues. It's a blue, it's a blue. There it is. It's a little bit different way of kitting up for me. Let's see if we can kit up differently for every single kit. If I remember which way I've kitted it up between each day. W, X is 341. I can see it, there it is. That's a pretty blue. It's like a grey blue. A nice dusty blue. So we've got a set. Last time I did it, I had a set that had 16. Sorry, X, Y. Yeah, I had a set that had 16, a set that had 12, and a set that had 4. So far I have a set that has 16. Maybe that these paint gems take me a lot longer if I have a load of sets that are 16. Because there is quite a few that are. Oh, that is a diamond. I thought that was just a piece of trash, but it is actually a fully blown diamond. Okay, Y and then Z. Right, that's that order collected. It's a heavier one than normal, so it's not gone in the normal post. It's gone via a different route on its way overseas, and it actually takes about the same time as Royal Mail. So okay, Z. So we have all of our alphabets. So now let's start with a 1. There is a lot of colours in this one. Just checking my numbers were right. I thought I'd picked up the wrong number then. So the 1, I might need to shuffle about some of those ABs anyway to get everything in there. Then I want 2 for 970. Two. We're in. 3. 155. See, that one looks quite dark as well, but it's actually quite a palish purple. It's not I wouldn't say it's a full-on pastel purple, but it's definitely on the paler side of things. 3, number 4, 4, is that one? Yes. 4, that's a nice purple, that one. It's like a bluey purple. Amazing how many colours cross into other colours. I mean, I suppose it's not, but it is. It's still fascinating how many sort of shades of a colour you can get. And then you get those colours that you're like, is that blue? Is that purple? Or is that blue? Is that green? What category does that one fall into? I'm sure somebody somewhere has established categories. Ooh. 6, we have our 995. I've actually got the AB for this one, but there's not loads of them in here. So we'll see how many. I don't like too many ABs in things anyway. So especially when it comes to the likes of the pinks that I've got in there, there might be one that I sort of pick an AB for and one that I don't. But 6, and then 7. I do have a feeling I might have to shuffle some ABs about. No, see, that's number 7 in the list, but that's not the one I want. This is the one I want. This is when it's like, oh, how many numbers is too many numbers? So number 915, this one, it's like wine. It's like a fine red wine. 7, 8, another one of my sort of favourite tealy colours. It's like a mint green slash a teal. Very pretty. And I'm knocking them everywhere. I'm trying to get them from behind the label. I like to stick behind the label on the bag, and I'm just making more of a mess doing that. Put them into the corner. So 8, and then we have 9, and that is then the end of the numbers. For symbols wise, I don't tend to as much mind what order they're put in. If there was more symbols, I probably would be, but because there's not too many, I don't tend to get as fussed as to what order they're in, but I do often like to put similar colours together. So I'm going to do these ones more by colour than I am by anything else. So let's get 996 in there first, because that's the only blue and it's pretty bright, and then I'll work down the greens, go into darker colours, and then I'll do the more neutral. And I am going to have to shift some of those ABs because I can already tell that I am not going to have enough room, and I do like the big bottles to be able to stand up quite nice. Just knock all my ABs over. So let's try this for now. Okay, so I want 907 first up as my brightest green, or my brightest green in this lot anyway. Nice limey green. So we've got 907, 703, and this is quite nice actually because this will fit quite nice across that row, and then behind it will be the neutrals. So when I am looking for a symbol, at least I will have the colours close together when I go hunting. So we've got 703. That was a delivery for one of the kids. I was like, who's at the door? I've had my delivery for today and managed to miss filming around my delivery coming. And then I've had my post collection, which if I hadn't decided to just start kitting up PaintGem because I'm excited, then I would have missed that within filming. But yeah, it's one of the girls. Okay, 3818. So that is all the greens, all the bright colours. So now I'm just going to grab one and go for it. So 712. And then we're going to see if I can fit all my ABs in or if I actually potentially need to take some out or figure something else out. Because I'm going to need 4 pots wise, and once I'm done I can only then put these on their side, and yeah, I'm not going to fit all of them in there. So let this be a lesson to me. Do my diamonds first and then pick ABs, because if I then need ABs I can go up to the point that I have filled the tub. Because as much as I'm working on this full unit and I can put some of these ABs in, say with the diamond paintings, I've got space. Space isn't the problem at all. It's remembering when I grab a diamond painting and grab the diamonds and take them to sit down and diamond paint, it's remembering that I need to grab those extra ABs with a certain painting. So I need to do my ABs secondary, not first. Anyway, 310. It's all a learning curve, is it not? And this is the most static that I think I've had in all these bags. So let's see if we can get them in, because I've got this far without a dry sheet. Partly due to stubbornness, and I know they do calm down over time as I'm actually diamond painting with them. You know, they're not at the point where they're sort of jumping the minute you go to touch them. But yeah, look, I've managed to get that one in, and I have 2 pots that are not going to fit, because if I stand these upright, the drawer doesn't shut. So I am going to figure that out, but I'm going to figure it out afterwards, after I've kitted up the rest. So I'm just going to pop the tray to the side and go, that's a little bit later problem. But that is one of them kitted up. So let's have a look. We still have time, so let me pull up my tiny decisions. Make sure that one is blacked out, so rainbow is blacked out, and let's tap it again and see what is kit number 2. National Parks 3. That's a good shout, because that is not one that I would put ABs in. So National Parks 3. I've actually done 1 and 2. I have 3 and 4 in my stash. This has less as well, so we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 in this one. So that's quite nice. There is no other sets with 4, so I'm not going to have exactly the same as last time, but we do have loads of colours in this one, and these are the paintings. I don't need to figure out any ABs for these, because I don't think, oh hang on, I've just noticed there is potentially some like stars in that one, and there's some stars in that one as well. Do I put them in the stars? See, that would be that yellow 444 and then a white. So that could be nice. That could be nice. Maybe I do add some white to this one. And some of that yellow. So if I take out that 444 and have that as a potentially for both paintings. Oh, do you know what I've noticed though? That is not the symbol T. That is the first time that I ever remember seeing 307 not being marked as the symbol T. Oh, it's the small things. Right. Let's put those in there for later. And there's me saying, do my ABs as a secondary thing. And here I am doing it as a straight off. 5200. There's my 5200 ABs. I suppose this is an easy one because it's only 2 and it will only be on a couple of paintings. But if this one goes in with this pot, this one can possibly go in the bottom, in my bottom drawer where the paintings will go when I'm all done, as it's used in more than one. Let's see how that works. Okay, I need to cut this down so that I am able to put it in the front of my drawer. Let's see if it will, oh yes, it will take that depth. I have to cut off from the width because of that handle, but it will take the full depth and I can still see it. Okay, oh, diamonds, that would be an idea. Let's get my diamonds out of here. And there you go, Parks 3.0, mini set number 42. Let's see how easy this one is. I like to kit up from the front and I pull the bottles from the front before. So these aren't all exactly full of bottles the same way they were when I first got it. They all have a little bit more wiggle room because it's been dekitted since the last one. But for this one, I'm going to put my stickers on in order first. So A, B, C, D, and then we've got E, and the ever so different 307. Maybe we need to scratch that, or maybe they ditched that whole thing with symbols later on. E, F, G, G, H. Where's I? Can I see you for looking? There it is. I, J. When they're not in order, it is helpful that they use them all because I do know I need to keep looking. H, I, J, K, L, M, M, N, O, P, Q, R, R, S, T is 920 on this one, S, T, U, oh, and I know these aren't always staying straight, but they're bottles, so they move. Right, sorry about that, battery died, Bobby got home, so I've decided to just carry on. I want to kit up all three. So where was I? S-T-U-V. So V, W, X, Y, Y, and Z, and then 1, see these, 1, 2, trying to keep these in a straight line, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. And then I have some that are just symbols. So let's do that bright sort of reddy orange. Then I've got a couple of blues. So let's put a couple of blues over. Oh, 820s are blue as well. So's 939 technically. So let's put 939. Then we have a brown. These are probably all browns, and I do need some more pots, so I'm just going to grab them out in the next one. This is actually a full one, the bottom one. I don't want to grab any pots. I've got all the rest of the pots. They're currently in my drawer, but I don't want to grab the rest of the pots until I sort of know what I need to fill up. So we'll do 414 there, that one there, and then one more to fill up. And I'll do my sort of proper fill up on the bottom one, but that's how they sort of lie. It's kind of annoying, but you sort of got to go with the flow. Okay, let's grab a bag and go by the bag and go from there. Oh my goodness me, I think I might need the dry sheets out for this one. That bag is a humdinger. Okay, ideally I want sort of a bigger piece to put in the bag itself. Sort of more of a bag size piece. Just sort of mix around on all the diamonds and see how we go. I might not have shaken that enough. There's still a little bit of static. But that is a lot more jumpy and sticking to fingers than the last lot was. So that's how I know I need the dryer sheets for this one, because I could get away with it in the last kit, but I can't get away with it the same in this one. But we'll see how they are. It is what it is. I'm just excited to be doing another set of PaintGem. Very happy with the ones it has picked out so far. I feel like it's a nice variety so far, which is always good. Okay, sometimes I think it is easier picking the diamonds than I feel that it is easier picking where the numbers are. Oh, yeah. We've got a lot of this and we've got pretty much a full tub. Have we got as many as the last one? Oh, we've got one more colour than the last one, according to my last lineup. So we've got one extra colour to rainbow. And then we'll see what it picks after that. I'm not actually going to put the little dryer sheets in this one, the little pieces. I think I'm going to see how I go doing it. Just putting it into the bag and shaking it up that way. I think I'm just going to see how I go. Because while the little pieces of dryer sheet do help, and they are handy at getting rid of static, I mean, it could be the little dryer sheets that's doing it, but I do find that they do get better over time, especially when sort of in use. I find they're not too bad, and I have so many little bits of dryer sheets in my spare storage because they get tipped out with the diamonds. Then I'm thinking I might use this lot as the little test to see what they're like with no dryer sheet in when it comes to dekitting all of these. I reckon I just might have to whack the bottom of the pot a little bit more than maybe I do on others. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, at least we're in order for some of these now. Makes it a little bit easier to find the colours if it's in order. Oh, you see how far up the bag they're sticking. That's how I know that these especially need a dryer sheet, because the others would just have one or two sort of hanging on the side of the bag as you're tipping them out, which is a little bit more manageable, a bit like now. But this has sort of calmed them down to the same level the other ones were in. Because these are definitely more hyper. Okay, 797. I knew we were definitely moving off because that one's a paler yellow. Look, it's just all the way up the bag. All the way up. And we've got an escapee. And now they're dropping right down to the bottom of the bag rather than sticking down the side. So it definitely needs to be done. I wish it would do it on lower colour ones, but you can't pick, you can't choose. But yeah, I'm excited because I know I've still got one more to be decided. I always get excited when I'm kitting up any painting that's on the decision wheel, but I do really like this sort of set of 3 PaintGem minis. I get the decision wheel excitement multiple times, which is why I spread it out and don't, you know, decide I want to know what 3 paintings I'm kitting up before I do anything. And yeah, it's exciting to sort of discover them bit by bit. But when my battery died in my camera and I decided to wait for hubby to get home because he was very close to being home, and I thought he'll then pass the post on to the postie, and I can finish filming this and getting them all kitted up. I did prep the canvases for the 2 that I've done. So for Rainbow and National Parks 3, I have got the canvases ready. And then whatever the next one is, I will show you how I prep the canvases. I'm also going to I'm still going to do the books. So I'm still going to get my display books and I'm going to get my stickers and my inserts. My stickers and my front cover insert, but I am going to sort of put them onto the black card and store them slightly differently until the full set's completed. So at the moment, or last time I did this, I got the book. So I got my display book, I got my cardstock for going in said display book, my stickers and my front cover, got my books all ready, which you would have seen on my last kitting up, Mammoth PaintGem kitting up. And what I did was, as I was going along, so as I was completing paintings, I stuck the pictures into the book and slipped them into the display book. However, what I realised as I finished, when I finished dekitting my last lot of PaintGems, I showed you them all, and then I had to get my logbook stuff ready for my logbook video. And in my logbook video, to get it ready, I have to get the pictures ready, which means I have to take all of my black card, you know, finished PaintGems out of the book to take a picture to then put them all back in the book, which is a little, you know, it's a little bit counterproductive. I was like, I could do with a different way of doing this. I like putting them onto the black card as I finish them. It's sort of a nice way. I don't do them all, you know, like straight after I finish them. Sometimes I finish a PaintGem quite late at night and I just bob my diamonds and that away and pop it on the side. But whenever I'm having a potter about, doing a bit of this, bit of that, tidy up a bit here, tidy up a bit there, I will often then stick my PaintGem minis onto the black card and put sticker names on and things. But yeah, this time I am not going to slip them into the display book. What I think I'm going to do is I am going to use the A5 wallets that I still of course have at the moment, and rather than just putting them away for my next PaintGem kit, I am going to put the pieces of black card in there because it's A5, it's to hold A5, so it will hold my pages for each of them. I do have a little label on that says what each one is, so I don't need, of course, this front cover that I've cut apart already and put in the drawer. So I'm going to, in effect, put them on the black card and store them in that A5 wallet. And then when I have finished a set, just before I de-kit them all, I will make sure that I take a picture of them all laid out and then put them in the display book. So I'll do the picture before I do the de-kitting video, rather than, you know, making sure that I take a picture for my logbook video. And having them all in the A5 wallet will prompt me, okay, they're in there because I need to take a picture first. So then I say, I'll take the picture, pop them into the wallet, do my de-kitting video, and show you guys it all. Sorry, my memory card actually filled up then. I had a whip and waffle video on there that I've already uploaded onto the computer, uploaded onto YouTube. In fact, as I'm filming this, you guys saw it yesterday. But yeah, my memory card shouted at me. So you can tell I've done quite a bit of filming over the last couple of days. That'll teach me to sneak this one in. So yeah, so little tweaks as I go along for things, for how I work, that may help you depending on how you work. So if you too store, you know, your PaintGem minis in a display book and you also like to put them in as you go along, but then maybe you too like a picture in your logbook when you're done, then maybe this is also a good option for you, is to store them sort of together with something, and then when you're all done, take a picture, put them into your display book and pop your display book away. And yeah, you don't have to mess about. Okay, why can I see? Oh, there it is. Every 4-3 number I could see apart from this one. Somebody else is probably shouting, it's up the top. Yeah, so a little tweak to my system, but I definitely prefer, of course, I prep all the canvases by cutting the edges straight. I've liked to do that for a while. That was something I used to do when I'd finished all my PaintGems. I would then trim the sides. I've since adapted and I trim all the edges of the paintings before I do them because it's easier because they're flat. I've then, since having all three in one, so last time I kitted them all up, I decided to bring in the display books and add them to the display books as I finish them. which was a new thing for me, and I like that, but I'm going to tweak it. So it will now be that I will put them onto the black card, but I won't put the black card in the book. I will get the books ready, so I will be doing that at the end of this, or the last part of this video, once everything is kitted up. So I'm still going to get them ready. I'm just not going to actually physically put them in the books until I've taken my logbook picture, which I'll take when I dekit, and it'll be ready for logbook, which is also a good thing, because sometimes I do that. Sometimes I do remember to take a picture of a finished painting before my logbook video, and it does make my logbook video so much easier. The amount of times I go to film a logbook video and I realise, because I look at my current whips in my logbook and I'll be like, oh, I finished that one. Oh, I finished that one. And then especially when it comes to PaintGem minis and me having to take them out of the display book, because even before now, I used to do the display book either as a separate video or at the same time as dekitting. And I used to put them all in the display book and show you guys on the video them all in the display book, and completely forget to take a picture until it was logbook time. So I'm hoping by putting them in the A5 wallet, so I am keeping them together, I am putting them on the card, it will in effect trigger that memory in my head. Okay, yes, take your picture before you put them in the book. And yes, all little things, just little bits of this and bits of that just make my life that little bit easier, a little bit more of a flow with things. It's very much how my brain works. I like to have, oh, those are pretty jumpy. I like to have a flow of things more so than a strict, you know, time schedule. I like to have a flow, which means I can adapt and adjust my days. I said to hubby when he came in, I'm like, oh, I'm going to finish this video, you know, I don't need this video yet, but I want to finish doing it because I feel like I'm on a YouTube day today. I have set days now, so it's like it's a YouTube day, so because of that I'd rather finish this video and get it done than prep some shop stock that I've got all lined up ready to go, and I'll do that prep on Monday instead, because then it'll be a shop day. So yeah, I have 3 YouTube days now, though they're not all 3 to do YouTube necessarily. It's 3 days for when I start doing YouTube, and then when I finish the week, unless there are other videos that I can do in advance and want to do in advance, like everything's ready for it, then I will. Otherwise it'll be like, no, okay, tomorrow's shop day again. It all depends what sort of stuff I need to do. But yeah, that's the way I work the best, is having sort of a flow to my day rather than a set schedule. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but yeah, I don't like sort of, it's not so much set times for things, it's just a flow for things. So I do my admin, I pack the orders, I get the printers ready, and then if it's a YouTube day, I will start filming, and then just before post needs to be collected, I will do any other orders that have come in and get post ready, and that sort of wraps up that part of the day. Whereas on a shop day, I will do the same again, so it'll be admin, and then pack orders for the day, and then I will move on to whatever needs prepping for the shop. And once I finish prepping an item, whatever that may be. So it could be something that takes an hour, it could be something that takes 3. I will then pack any orders that have come in, and then I will decide what needs, you know, what's the next most important thing to prep or do. And yeah, move on like that. But yeah, a little bit of rambling about my day and my week and how things are working currently. And filming in the day. I mean, this last week, normally I say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are filming days. Because sometimes a Tuesday is actually, Mondays are always busy for orders and things. And sometimes Tuesdays are. So the idea is I can nudge it and still have Wednesday, Thursday. Whereas this week, Tuesday was an extremely busy day. So I didn't get to YouTube on Tuesday. But then I've actually ended up YouTubing Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. So while I'm filming this in advance, because I still had an hour and I was like, oh, let's do a bit more YouTube. It's because of my super long whip and waffles that I've had over the last couple of weeks on a Sunday. They've both been filmed through the week, and I was determined to do another long one. And yeah, it just took a day and a half. Took a day and a half, but it's all good. 3847. We are getting there. Some of these are, the static is calm enough, a bit like Rainbow was, for me to get them to primarily go in the pots. So if I can, I do. I do actually have a brew here with me as well, which I may need to have a little bit of. Right, what are we on next? 762. They're often more white than grey, 762, I've noticed. The diamonds are more white than grey. But it can be very borderline between different ones. But they always still look good on the painting, so I'm guessing it all works out in the end. Oh, that one's a bit jumpy. Let's just give it a little shake. I wonder what my next one will be. My brain's gone back to what will my next one be. Because I'm so close to finishing up these diamonds. There's a lot of these that there's not many colours of. Like not many quantity wise of. Where is 414? I keep seeing 415 and 762, but maybe if I tip it up and I can see which ones haven't got any diamonds in it, it's there. Right at the end, top of the shop is the grey. At least I'm looking for symbols when I'm actually doing the painting, because I think if I was looking for numbers, I'd probably send myself even more doolally. Okay, 317. That was jumping out at me before. So just a few little greys, browns. Looks like there's a few different shades of them throughout these paintings. But they're cute little ones, these. I really enjoyed doing National Park sets 1 and 2. They were launched right at the beginning, right when they first come out. I know they've recently had an offer, I think they had a reduced price on some of the National Park sets. So I know quite a few people have topped up on their national parks. So it's nice to get another one of these done. I've not had any like really new, oh no, maybe National Parks 3 is quite a new set to me. It probably is, it's probably the newest. Rainbow's older. And I'm thinking last time they were all probably a bit older. Her Story wasn't older to me but it was an older set. It was the only set I sort of hadn't picked up already. And I definitely decided to get it to complete my collection, though I still don't have Her Story 2 because they stopped doing it. It's the only set they've stopped doing. It's the only set I don't have. But yeah, yeah, all of the paintings I did last time, I'd say are older ones. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, they're not old. But they are on my first page in my logbook of PaintGem minis, my stash list. So they've all been on the first page. I'm now 2/3 of the way down the second page of PaintGem mini sets. So it'd be kind of it's nice to have one of these, which I'm sure is on the second page. I'll have to have a look in a minute. Right, 3021. Last but by no means least colour in here. Get the last bits in. Come on, last one. There we go. That is a heck of a lot of colours. But National Parks 3 is all set up. That drawer can go back in. Let me have a look at my PaintGem. Grab my PaintGem list. So I have a big list at the front. Rainbow is on the front page, so I only have a few that you could possibly class as quite a bit older ones. So I've got Tattoo, Zodiac, Cats, and Mystery. And then this, oh, it's actually a bit more than 2/3. It's more like 3/4 of the way down. These are probably ones that are a little bit more new, and National Parks 3 is here. So National Parks 3 is actually really new. But anyway, it is that time. So let me pull up my Tiny Decisions app, make sure that National Parks 3 is blocked off. And I have all of the rest of the ones in here, apart from the ones that you'll have just seen an unboxing on, because they're not in my logbook yet. So let's see, what is number 3? Mystery 3, and that is a new one. So let me find my Mystery 3. So I still haven't done mystery number 1. That is still a PaintGem set that has not been chosen. But mystery 3, if you can see, that was unboxed just before Easter, which was my latest one in my logbook. Oh, this is a nice selection, I feel. I don't think I'm going to do ABs on Mystery 3 because I think it's something that's actually going to be really, really hard to establish, like where the ABs would look nice, because they are sort of, they're all sort of bottle shapes, but like I don't know what the colours are. I don't know what the colours are going to be, so it's very hard for me to say where needs an AB and where doesn't, or at least it is for me and my brain. So I'm not going to put ABs in these, which means I do kind of need to make a decision on Rainbow Edition. So I think I'm just going to have to put this one extra pot in here with that one. And I'm just going to have to try and remember to grab it when I grab a painting, because my paintings are going to sit in here when I prep those in a bit. And just leave that as, you know, as many ABs as possible in there so that the drawer can fit away. Because if the drawer doesn't fit away, I won't be a happy bunny. And what I do want to do, because I know that I'm not putting any ABs in this, I am going to refill up. Oh, and they are different types of bottles. Okay. I have a drawer in my Kallax unit where I tipped all the bottles last time that I didn't use. So let's see. I think they're here further down the bottom. Oh, okay. This isn't working so well. I try and get my straight lines across there. So they're a slightly clearer top than these other ones I've got. So I want to try and make them the same. But I know I have plenty of them because I've got that whole tray that my canvases are going to go in. But I want that full because I'm not going to be adding extra in any extra AB, so I'd rather not have the bottles floating about. So let's sticker them up, but then do them in order of the stickers. So a little bit like I did the first one, but I'm actually going to stick all the stickers down first, because that's the only other variation of kitting up that I can think of to do 3 slightly differently. D, E, E, F, get hold of them, G, oh, there you are, G, H. We don't have 907 in this one, so there's no way of checking. It's definitely not the letter T. G, H, I, J. Oh, trying to get these stickers not to peel off. Back in. J, K, L. Can I get hold of it? Here we go. L. It's cut through quite a bit, this sticker sheet. So sometimes when I'm grabbing hold of it, it's actually trying to peel the backing off as well. It's like the knife was set to just cut a little bit too much. L, M, N, O. O, P. Q. Q, R, S, T, U. I'm kind of filming this a little bit earlier than it goes up as well, so that I have some PaintGem minis to work on if I want to. U, V, W. I find if I don't have any kitted up, I really want to do some. Which is probably just the whole psychology of if I can't have it, I want it. So having some at least kitted up, even if you guys see a gap between the video, it's not like I'm going to complete them super quick because there's loads of them. 1, 2, 3. Same sort of thing, 4, 5, 6. Same symbol order for me for all of them, apart from, say, the actual sort of symbols at the end. I'm happy for those to sort of be by colour. I don't mind sort of hunting for those. I don't have a set order for them in my brain. So let's do the bright colour, then the blue, followed by a purple, albeit a dark one, and a brown. And then I'm actually going to do the black because all the rest sort of more grey tones. So I can, when I'm hunting for a grey, they will all be on the same sort of row. Every single one of these sets has been high colour, which is a-okay. Diamonds. Diamonds would be a good idea. I end up setting everything up and then forgetting to grab the diamonds. My diamonds are in exactly the same sort of tub as you've just seen me pull out for my bottles. They're actually just above my bottles, but they're all sort of thrown in and I read it across according to here. So this is mini 44. And let's pull them out in, because they're roughly in order on the sticker sheet, but not always. But I am going to put them into their bottles according to the number of, oh my goodness me, not the static, but there is static in these. But the amount, some of these, there is a lot of them. In fact, let's see how many I can get out and then I'll do the dryer sheet for the ones that are sticking by the sides. I think I may need to use those extra bottles across the back. In fact, I'm going to say yes, I do. Because I already have hit a colour that I have far too many of for one pot. So let's grab another pot. And let's get these in here as an extra. Get a load more out that the dryer sheet has touched, and then I'm going to put the dryer sheet back in again. Just to keep getting those diamonds that have not touched it. And let's see, let's top that one up, not too much. If I'm going to go into a second tub anyway, then I would rather not overfill. And then this is where these sheets can come in handy. So this is 3, 7, 5, 6. So this is just the same sheets that the PaintGems are on. I'm just going to pop on my extras and bob them in the back. So I'll keep that to one side because this is the other one that is also looking very fat. Good choice of 2 colours to have a lot of though, PaintGem. I like them. I like them. I'm very interested in, I'm looking forward to doing some of the mystery ones. I still haven't done mystery 1, and that's probably the one set that is a little bit more mysterious than maybe this set is. Or I have done mystery 2. The decision wheel actually chose the free section on my decision wheel once, and I decided to do mystery 2. And after doing one of them with mystery 2, you sort of get the theme and the idea of the future ones. And it's a lovely set. It's a really, really nice set. But yeah, I really don't have much of a clue at what is in mystery 1. The names that they've given them give me an idea, but like they don't actually tell me what they specifically are, if that makes sense. So mystery 1, I think they call a couple of them National Park and they call a couple of them Museum. So like they're not exactly the same as are in National Park set or Museum set. They're like extra ones. So yeah, it could be anything. If you think of the Museum set, they're all completely different. So even though they've given it a name, it's still very much a mystery as to what it is. But I do like working on sort of the mystery canvases when the symbols are just all black and white, and the painting comes to life even more so as you do it. So I'm very impressed with my decision wheel choices this time, even if it didn't pick mushrooms, which I'm rather excited when it comes to doing mushrooms. I'm very much looking forward to them. So even though it didn't pick mushrooms, I will forgive it, because I think it has picked a rather nice, Okay, it helps if I actually hold my hand over the top of this. Okay, they are actually within that one. I've just thrown a couple of diamonds across my desk by not holding the bag closed. So let that be a lesson to anybody else who's kitting up and using dryer sheets. Do make sure that you put your hand over the bag before you shake it. It will make your life easier. Right, come on diamonds now, you're being awkward. Get in the pot. Thank you. Hopefully you are my only troublesome colour of diamond for now. 973. Oh, these are very, very jumpy. Say most of these stickers sort of work through the colours, so I'm just pulling the other ones to the side, and hopefully I won't end up with like different options of diamonds all over the place. Come on. Don't make me show you the dryer sheet again. Sometimes I think when I end up with one left in the bag, I should just throw it, because I always have so many extra diamonds from PaintGem. I never have a problem with, I've never ever had a problem in any of my sets about whether I have enough diamonds. And there are a lot of sets that I've done without doing ABs, so I've never felt like I'm going to run out of diamonds, or never have run out of diamonds. I get more edgy with whether I have enough ABs, and they're what I add in. So I'm always more fretful that I'm going to run out of an AB that I've decided to put on than I ever am an actual PaintGem diamond. So sometimes I don't know why I fight getting the last one out of the bag, when I should just get rid and call it a day. But you know, we all have different personalities for a reason, do we not? And that is mine. Right, I'm going to drink my coffee while I'm shaking a bag. Try and disguise any potential slurping, or what I think sounds like slurping while I'm having a drink. I always think I'm noisier drinking a coffee when I'm filming than I ever am otherwise. Maybe it's just because I'm more conscious of it. Right, 604, which is not that one. Close, but no cigar. Some really nice colours in this one though, in this set. If anybody else that's done Mystery 3 edition, do let me know if it is one that you enjoyed and liked the outcome. Don't necessarily show me all the pictures, because it's going to take me quite a while to get through them all, because I am going to mix them all up when I sort out my canvases in a bit. I'm going to variety them all, and then I just pick one out of the drawer, and whatever's on the top is the one that I do. The last set, when did I kit up the last set? In fact, let me have a look while I give this a bit more of a shake, because this set is toasty. Right, where's my paint logbook? Here we go. So I've just filled in my logbook with them. February. So February, March, April. And it was very much at the end of April that I finished them. I can't remember if it was the beginning of where in February it was. But we're talking 2 to 3 months. Between 2 and 3 months for me to finish the last 3 sets of PaintGem. and I had one with 16 in, one with 12 in, and then one with 4 in. So I had less. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So this one has 12 in it. So I have 2. Oh goodness me! Right, I am going to cut a fresh piece of dryer sheet, I think. Yeah. So what was I saying? So I have 8 more than I did last time, and considering if I do them in an evening, I may do 1 or 2. I don't do them every evening, so I would expect this one to be 3 to 4 months before they're finished, depending on how many I get done. We'll see. I might go on a PaintGem kick and do quite a few. Come on. Right. I think I got them all. 7, 3, 9. Yeah. I still have loads to do, and they keep bringing them out. I think so far they have brought out 1 or 2 a month, which is a lot quicker than I am getting them done, which is probably why my stash of them is growing so much. I'd tell them to slow down, or ask them to slow down, or even want them to slow down if I didn't love the designs that they keep coming up with so much. Every time I think I've found my favourite design, they bring out another one. I think that's why I sort of held off on putting Tuscany in the mix, because even though I've opened it, I've unboxed it, it's not in my logbook. Because it's another one that I am extremely excited to do. There's actually quite a few that I'm extremely excited to do. Of these, I think Rainbow Edition is one that I've really been looking forward to doing because of the bright colours. Because I love working on the bright colours. I've also been rather keen to see what Mystery 3 is. I'd say I'm more excited about Mystery 1 than 3. But, you know, I say, even the ones that I'm not as keen on, I still love them. They just might not be my favourite. National parks, I love how they come out. Like when you take the time, I think national parks they're often the hidden little beauty ones. Like when you take the time to actually look at one of the images rather than the images as a collection, they shine even more. Like the individual images are gorgeous. When you see them as a set, yes, you know, they're pretty, but they don't necessarily have the same impact as some of the others do as a set. I don't know if that makes sense to everybody. Yeah, it doesn't have the same hit as maybe a set like Rainbow does. But each individual image is just, yeah, it's amazing how they can get so much into what is, you know, such a small canvas size. So I really enjoy, they're not ones that I necessarily am like, oh yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that one. I'm really excited. It's up at the top of my list. But it is one that when I'm working on them, I get more enjoyment. Because I get to see those sort of individual details shine even more, if that even makes sense. I do waffle at times. I need to hurry up with this brew because it's going cold. It's going to that temperature that's not that nice. Oh, come on. I don't want to put the dryer sheet in every single bag. just let me get away with it on some of them. Where did that go? Stuck on my thumb. Maybe I should have. None of them hit my mega tray. Just to test me. Oh, I think this one is quite a way down. There it is. 3341. That's a nice sort of salmon pink. But yeah, I think Mystery 3 is more of a sort of decorative bottles set. So I can imagine of all the mystery ones, it's probably the one that is not necessarily for everybody. But if you enjoy the process of mysteries, then yeah, they're beautiful. I think I have seen 1 or 2 designs completed, because I think I was a nosy person and went and looked on some of the reviews on PaintGem's website, and they do warn that the reviews do contain pictures, so you can end up in effect seeing some of them. But I figured with the amount of kits that I had, and I think when I actually went looking and being nosy, I'd not long kitted up my other set, so I knew it would be, you know, at least a couple of months before I kitted up what could potentially be Mystery 3. And I have completely forgotten the designs since then. So I couldn't tell you what they actually are, and probably because it is designs rather than physical things is probably the reason I couldn't tell you as well. But I do know that I liked them, that I just thought they were pretty, and I'm all for some pretty. Oh my goodness, this set is not liking me. See if I can get that down. That's better. I got a bit violent with the diamonds then. I've still missed some in the bottom corner. That was just my daughter from uni saying hello. I'm going to give her a call later on. And I can't remember what I was saying. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm going to get another piece of dry sheet because I think I bashed that one. Let's get these diamonds in pots, preferably with the least damage to me ever, because this is the last set. And then I get to prep the canvas, or the canvases, and I need to go and get my display books, and get my cardstock, and get all of that prepped too. I actually enjoy all that sort of prepping, and I do like doing it sort of at the beginning, especially since I have recently, of course, just de-kitted the 3 that I'd done before, and it does feel kind of nice that once the diamonds are away and the paintings can go in their book and be done, rather than then having to, you know, not having to, but then putting them into the book and all that sort of stuff. Plus it means I get to look and see and highlight each one on the black card, which always makes them pop as I finish each one. So like I get to, sometimes it might be the day after or a couple of days later, but it gets me a chance to sort of really look at each one as I'm putting them on the card. Even if I do them a couple at a time, or I might do them a couple of days later, I actually look at the ones I'm putting on the card more so than when I was putting all 12 or 16 on black card all at once. They don't get the same sort of highlight, in my head anyway, they don't. It's a bit like with national parks, when you're actually working on them, they get that highlight, and then when you pop them on the card, they get another highlight. And it's just, it's nice. Right, 90, oh, look at you, come on. Come to mama, straight in the pot. Little bit of static, but nowhere near as much. The ones that have fallen out, I bash the bag on the side. You were very well behaved. You can come again. Right, you're not going to be. No, I can see them all up the side before I even open the bag. I don't think I've got any other bags that are as big as those first two. So maybe they are the only ones that I'm going to have that are there's quite a bit more. I did notice though, when I had a quick look at the canvas, when I was opening them, so on video in front of you guys, when I was looking to say I can't really tell what the colours are to pick any ABs, I did notice that the symbol B, which is actually one of the colours that there's loads of, symbol A and B are the ones that there's loads of, is actually used as the outline for some of the bottles quite a bit. So it's a bit like some of the ones that use quite a lot of 310 or might have a bag or two of 310. Quite often it's because it's used as outlines or details, and it's actually not like huge blocks of colour on each painting. It's more highlights and lines and things like that on each painting. So it definitely won't feel like all I'm ever placing is that colour, I don't think. Also, I don't know if anybody else does this when they're doing paint gems, when they're actually working on them, but I like to mix up how I sort of decide what colour's next. Sometimes I will decide what colour's next by my usual method, my standard, which is whatever is the most bottom left-hand symbol that doesn't have diamonds on it will be the one I'll do. But other times, especially when it comes to sort of these mystery ones, I sometimes just go through in the order of the diamonds in my pot. So I will look for all of the letters A and then B and then C and so on, and fill them in that way. I used to have another way I did it when I used to work with those little cases. The little cases that are connected together in strips of 4. What I used to do with those, which was quite fun, I quite enjoyed that way. That's the only thing I miss about using those cases. It's sad, isn't it, that you end up with one little thing that you miss about a storage solution, but everything else works so much better in these pots. Is I used to pick the most bottom left-hand symbol that I hadn't done. But when I pulled out the strip of colours to do, I would do that bottom left hand most symbol first, but then I would do the other 3 colours in that strip. So they could end up being colours that are completely different places on the painting. And then I'd go back again and pick the most bottom left hand symbol that I hadn't done, and then do all the other colours in that strip of 4. And then part way through the painting as I'm going along, I'd try and guess which symbol was going to be last. Oh, the little games I play. Yeah, I used to do that when I didn't have a book or anything on, like if I was just sat and hubby was watching TV and stuff, I would, yeah, play that little game and try and figure out which symbol I would end on. Because of course it wouldn't necessarily be the one that was the nearest the top, or you know, a section of a colour that was right near the top, because it could have got picked up with it being in a row of 4 with one of the colours nearer the bottom. So yeah, that's a fun game I play while doing my diamond paintings. I don't know if anybody else has the same sort of thing. I know, you know, sometimes when I'm doing a big block of colour, not so much on paint gems, but when I'm doing a big block of say, a white background. Quite often I will do the step method. So I will create like a set of stairs. So it would be 1 square and then 2 and then 3 and so on. Excuse me. But sometimes if I have a painting that has a lot of blocks of colour, I will actually vary it up and I will sort of pull back on a section, and I will do a bit like that bouncing game where it would bounce around and I'd just keep bouncing it off the sides of my sections until it was either completed or I'd get bored and then I'd fill in the bits. So yeah, let me know down below if you're still here for this kitting up, this mammoth kitting up. If you're still here, let me know, if any, what games do you play while diamond painting? Like just little mini games or challenges. I know somebody did mention once that they like to multi-place and use different multi-places, a bit like a jigsaw. Sort of a bit like Tetris, trying to fit in the little bits and slot them all in. Cross between the jigsaw and Tetris. So yeah, let me know if you play any games or vary up how you do your symbols. I mean, games is probably a bit of an extreme way, but just a few little ways you may entertain yourself while diamond painting, just to vary things up a little bit. The norm is always good, and the norm is always my default. You know, I have a default way of doing a painting, but every now and then, when maybe I have a little bit more energy than I normally do, I will play little games with my painting or set myself little challenges or a different way of doing things. And sometimes I like it better. There's probably more times right at the beginning when I was diamond painting that I've sort of found that it's become my normal, my default way of doing things. Quite possibly could have just been a way that I decided to give it a go in the beginning. But I don't know for sure, because I don't think I ever thought about it that much or waffled that much in my videos. With random thoughts that pop into my head in relation to diamond painting. And any other thing that pops into my head while I'm kitting up. But you know, we are nearly there. We are very much getting there. 996 is a jumping fairy. Let's get those shaken up. Jumping jacks. Nearly. I tapped the bag the wrong way. I should have just kept tapping it from the top. And then I wouldn't have sent them all flying. Damp finger to pick them up, and they will probably be the best behaved diamonds in my whole set. Okay, 820. Another set. Goodness me. If you haven't done any paint gems yet, maybe you've got some on the way, maybe you're wanting to do some, do make sure you've got some dryer sheets in. It is a thing with resin diamonds, so you can find it can happen with many different companies. It's not just PaintGem. I think I feel it a little bit more with PaintGem because I'm kitting up 3. But I've definitely had it happen with other companies, and to me it just kind of proves to me that they are resin diamonds if they've got this much static, because you don't tend to get that with the acrylic ones. Resin diamonds are also prone to a little bit more bubbles. You know, like where there's actually a hole out of the diamond where it's caught a bubble in the manufacturing process. But I've been able to completely ignore those, sort of throw them away into my trash, and never had a problem with the amount of diamonds that I've needed. If I've ever got 3 10s with a paint gem, they, especially if there's a lot of them in it, they always give you quite a bit more. because the black diamonds are more prone to things like air bubbles and imperfections, because it's really hard to see them. Like sometimes I don't even see them until I've put it down on my canvas, and then I'll see that it's got a big gaping hole in it. So I always like to have a set of tweezers when I'm doing my paint gems. Some people use tweezers to place square diamonds. I have tried it. I actually find I'm neater without tweezers, though some people swear by being neater and straighter with tweezers. I find I'm still fairly straight with just using a pen, which is probably just due to the amount that I've diamond painted. But I always have a set of tweezers with me to quite often pull out black diamonds that I've managed to place down and not realise that they have a hole in them. But yeah, I've never had a problem with being able to throw away any ones that are not top notch. And there's never been any fear that I don't have, say, enough diamonds to finish a project. It's never been an issue. Right, 550, you going to behave? Probably not. Let's give it a go. Try and tap it from the top so that I don't send them flying. Getting rid of my bags as I go. 433. Oh, we've caught up with the rest. Oh, this must have gone on a while because my battery's going again. There's one of the diamonds. I knew there was one of that colour that went somewhere, but I couldn't find it, and I wasn't going hunting for too long for it, especially in case it had fell back in the pot. But yeah, 433, 310. There's not actually that much in this one. We don't have much 310 at all, but I can already see, even just from what's left in the bag, after I've tipped them down, there's a few more little bits of trash. I say, it just gets caught up a lot easier in the 310s than it does in any of the other numbers. 762. That one was a dream. Well, it was until I knocked them all over the place, but the actual bag itself was a dream. I thought I saw another one, but again, I'm not going chasing. I can see the finish line. 415. Oh no, you're jumping jacks. Jumping all over the show. That's better. 415. And we've got some 414. More grey. No, oh, you're not going to behave. They're already trying to jump out the way as I'm moving the bag. Let's put these to use. I don't think I caught that bottom corner, because there is still quite a few of them stuck in the bottom of that bag. I don't think I've got my dryer sheet near them, because they do normally really behave once they've actually been touched by the dryer sheet. They'll all sort of drop down to the corner, but if you don't catch them with the dryer sheet, it's not going to work. And last but by no means least, for the diamonds, we have 317. I think, oh, that one's on the floor now. I was going to put it in the bin, but I think it just hit the floor. So I'm going to use my finger to try and help the dryer sheet catch them all, because why not? It's the last one, so I can scrunch that dryer sheet up. Didn't quite catch in that bottom corner. And done. Diamonds for that one. Done and looking major pretty. So let's prep the canvases and my books so that we can call this completed. So I have picked up my display books. I've realised I haven't trimmed this down to fit in the front of my drawer. So let's do that. Mystery 3, and bob that in the front, and it's quite bold there, but when it's actually set upright it's a little bit closer to that frosted part, so I can see it really easily. So I have the 4th drawer, which is going to contain my canvases. So the first thing I like to do is I like to trim off these numbers that they now put on. Oh, this has actually got 16 in, not 12. Oh, I'm going to have to go and get some more cards. All the things in this video. My memory card filled up before from all the from the extra long whip and waffle and stuff that I filmed. I hadn't taken it off. But I did have a video that I'd already filmed, so I took those videos off and carried on. But now it filled up again. So I've located another memory card. I got some extra sheets of paper. So the back of here says that there is 12 designs, but there is actually 16. So because of that, I have grabbed a few more sheets of card, and it's good that I have noticed that before sorting out my display books, because you will see why when I actually do sort out my display books. But I like to neaten up the edges of the canvases. Like, they do have a grey line around them, but I like to cut the numbers off, because the numbers is more for PaintGem than it is for me. I don't need them. But also, I think when they cut the canvases apart, they probably do them in bulk, but they also, by the looks of it, do them with scissors. So while the lines are pretty darn straight, they're not exactly straight. So I like to neaten up all the edges when I've not got any diamonds interfering. Because if you've seen some of my very early on PaintGem videos, I often decided to sort of neaten them up and stuff when I'd finished the paintings, and it's nowhere near as easy, especially if it gets close, which in some instances the design can get pretty close to the edge, especially with the likes of Her Story that I completed in my last batch. So I like to straighten them up. I personally am not too fussy about them being all the exact size. When I put them in my display book, I don't do both sides of the display pocket. I only put my paintings in one side, the right hand side. And that is just primarily because I don't want the books getting too thick. So by the time you've put the diamonds on and put them in, the book can get quite a bit more stodgy than it otherwise could. So I like the 20 pages because the 20-page display book comes with the thicker spine, which means the spine can cope with more paintings being in there. But I don't like to overfill it. Some people do, doesn't bother them, and that is, that is definitely a you do you and what works for you. But I personally prefer to have it stay, you know, not much thicker than the slime itself. If you saw my dekitting video, at the end of that I do show my completed display books, which I then had to take them all out of to take the photo, hence the changes for this time. But yeah, you will see in that the butterfly set, which was also a 16-piece set, does end up being a bit of a thicker book. The ideal book is actually the one that works out at about 12 designs. That ends up sort of not getting much thicker than the book itself. In addition, my mystery set, you know, I said I'd done mystery 2, which only has 4 designs. I did check, and that book, I've actually prepped that book to take both mystery 1 and mystery 2. Which has worked out even better, because I think mystery 1 only has 12 designs. So by adding the 4 from mystery 2, it will still be, you know, it might be a bit thicker than some of the other books, but it won't be too much. Whereas this one has 16 designs, as I've now since found out. So this will definitely be better in a book on its own. So I like to prep all of the canvases by, as I say, cutting all the way around the edge, which is a lot easier to do while it's flat, though you do end up with these flyaway pieces from the sort of top sheets, which of course once you've completed them you don't end up with those, but it's still the better option to take, in my opinion. Cut them while they're flat. So I have done the other 2, you'll be glad to know. I'm only doing 1 set on camera. And then the other thing I like to do is put my double-sided tape on, ready to go in the book. Now, you could do this each time you finish one and you go to put it in the book. You could put your double-sided tape on then. But I find by just doing this step now, I am a lot more likely to put them straight into my book once I'm done. So I'm just going to tape these ones up. I just put it on 2 sides, or top and bottom in this case. I've already finished off 1 roll of tape doing these before, doing national parks and rainbow. And then I'm going to prep my wallets and my books. Oh, and I'm going to mix up my canvases. In fact, I might do that first. While these are all out, I am going to mix the 3 sets up so that I end up... Oh, that's not a good idea. Don't get tape stuck to my top part. So each time I go to do a PaintGem Mini, it could be any one of these 3 sets. And I find it gives me a nice variety as well, because I find if I do a PaintGem Mini and then maybe I've got time to do a second PaintGem Mini, I actually prefer it to be a different one. I don't know if anybody else is the same, but that's when I tend to fit in a lot of PaintGem Minis as well, is after doing, say, a certain size section on my big painting and realising that I have more time to diamond paint than I thought, or I'd like to do a little bit more, then I often grab a PaintGem Mini. And some of it is just because, you know, I can time the PaintGem Mini a little bit more. But also, a lot of it is down to the fact that if I end up uncovering a bit more of my big painting, it often means that I'm putting diamonds into my tray that are the same symbol and the same diamonds that I've had in my tray earlier on the same evening. And therefore, it feels a bit like it does when I miss a diamond symbol. I just don't like sort of repeating it in the same evening, the same sort of time slot. I feel like, yeah, I feel like it's as though I've just missed a load of diamonds because I didn't uncover a big enough section, or, you know, I was finishing off a row. So sometimes when I'm finishing off a row of a painting, I won't then start on the next row and end up opening the same symbols again and tipping the pots again and tipping them into my tray. I will do a PaintGem mini or two, which will mean I'm working with different symbols. So it's perfectly fine and reasonable that I have to tip those into my tray to work on them. So having, you know, multiple PaintGem mini sets and having them all mixed up actually works out quite nice if I do one and then decide, oh yeah, actually I do want to do a second, because then again I'm using different symbols that I'm tipping into my tray, and I don't feel like it's as though I've just missed a load. If I know I'm going to be working on two, then I will often grab two out of here straight away. And if they happen to be exactly the same type of diamond painting, so from the same set, then sometimes I will quite often do two together. I'll do two at the same time. Okay, so all my national parks, etc. are all prepped. I want to keep those in there, and all my rainbow. So we have 16 designs for rainbow. Let me just check these are definitely 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, yes. So we have 12 for national parks, 16 for mystery, and 16, yeah, 2 lots of 6 and 16 for rainbow. So what I want to do is actually mix these all up. Unfortunately, it is not like a deck of cards. So what I might do is hand these off. In fact, I will. In a bit, I will hand these off to my daughter, and she can just mix them all up for me, and then, you know, I won't think too much about whether there's too many of this design or that design or the other design. Once that's done, I will put them down face down in here, and then I will grab a painting. Now you can sort of slightly see what type of painting it is, which is why if I was doing two, and I picked this one up and knew that my next one is likely to be the same set, then I'd do them together. Whereas if I picked this one up and had this one underneath, then I would probably leave it there and come in when I swap the trays. So that is how my canvases are prepped. So now we're going to do my books and the new ways. So I have grabbed cardstock. So I grabbed 16 for rainbow, and I've got rainbow stickers. The back sheet, I don't particularly need to keep that in here because we've created the names for these. So I just need to work it out as I go along. But I'm actually going to keep those in there. And once they're completed, they will go back in there. Then I will take the picture and then I will put them in the book. But while I've gone and got the stickers to go with, I may as well prep the books because I've then got the front covers as well. So National Parks was the set of 12. So that can go in there with the National Parks 3 stickers. And then mystery, I want the cover out. And again, these are just, we don't actually know what these are. So these are just numbered 1 through to 16. So they will be a different one for everybody, depending on which one they're doing. Now I do use, okay, why is that not fitting in the same? Why are you not going in the same? This is an A5 one that doesn't want to take A5. Okay. Well, let's try a different one then. Are you going to take it? You're slightly wider. These must be different manufacturers. So they fit, of course, the canvases, but I want one that will fit the card. So yeah, on the top of the stickers, we do actually put one that is like a title, and that is for you to put on the spine of your book. So for example, here's Butterfly. I've got it on the spine of my book. I like to put that on as sort of my actual last thing I do. So I'm not going to add those on my books right now. But I do need to prep the books. So Mystery 3 has 16 designs and this book has 20 pages. So I want to take 2 pages out from each side of the book, which will leave me with 16 pages in it. So 2 from one side, 2 from the other side, 4 pages removed, and that will then leave me with a book that has 16 pages to take 16 pieces of card when they're all done. And I like to do the ones with higher numbers first, just in case I make a mistake with how many pages I take out. And then I can always use it for the one that only needs 12. Take that out and pop Mystery 3 in. So that makes it down to, oh, come on. Try and get it in straight. So that is my book ready for Mystery 3. Tuck that up and down the side on my desk. Next one I'm going to do Rainbow, because again it's 16 designs. So I'll be removing 4 pages because it's a 20-page book, but I'm going to do 2 on each side, just so that they sit nice and equally once everything is in. So 2 and 2. And then take out the front and pop a rainbow in. Look at those designs. They look so colourful and fun. So much fun. Very much looking forward to doing, well, all of these, to be fair. And then National Parks 3 has 12 designs, which means I need to remove 8 of these pages, which is actually 4 from each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can leave these in. There is no reason that you have to remove them. It is just what I like to do, and I just run a pair of scissors as close as I can to the edge. And I don't find once I'm actually using the book that it causes any problems at all. Yeah, that seemed quite thin then, but it's not. It is right. There is still 6 pages on the other side. Get my scissors sort of as close as I can. It's definitely not the straightest cut, but I don't want to be using a craft knife or anything because I could end up cutting through more pages. So I do have one side that's a little bit closer and neater to the edge than this side. But as I say, you really can't see it once you've got your pages in there. So I'm going to pop my front cover in to confirm that that has all been cut for National Parks 3. If it will go in. Don't test my patience. There we go. Slow and steady wins the race with that one. So yeah, I've got all 3 of my books tucked down the side. I'm actually going to move, I've got my case over in the corner just so that it's on my desk but it's not in camera shot. And I have actually moved it over a little bit because at this time I am going to keep these 3 with it. and I'm still going to mount them as and when they're finished, but I'm going to keep them all in there so that I can take a photo and then be done. We'll see how it goes with having 2 AB things floating around in here. I've got visions of it annoying me, but we shall see how we go. We now know for next time, if I remember, to kit them up and do the ABs at the end. I forget how high colour some of these end up being, but yeah, I'm going to go take these to my daughter and get her to mix them up for me, and then I will pop them in here, because it's not like a deck of cards. I want to shuffle them and I can't just shuffle them, so I'll get her to create just to mess about with them until they're done. But yeah, I am all kitted up. If I take the top off my drawer case thing, you can see I am now all kitted up with Rainbow, National Parks and Mystery 3. And when this is stood upright, those cards hit a bit like the top of National Parks does. It hits the top, so I can easily read them if I don't tip them all out. Goodness me. Maybe I should have stopped filming earlier on today. I've just leant it this way and managed to, yeah, let gravity take too much of a hold. But anyway, yes, I am going to go stop filming now, because it's not working out the best for me anymore. But yeah, I have another 3 PaintGem mini kits set up, which I'm really, really happy about. I am going to pop on my to-do list to find some other sort of handles for these, just so that the bottles will sit in there nicely. I might need to actually go shopping to pick something up, but I just want something that I can grab and pull, that does not have to go inside the tub to do it. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching and for bearing with me. I know this has been a long one, but I will speak to you all again soon.